Welcome back to another episode of CometTalk with Cashlaw. We're going to start off with some local sports scores. Girls basketball over the weekend lost to Fulton 43-27. Boys basketball last night beat Watertown 72-48. For swimming, congratulations to JJ Bottolato for winning the Frontier Leagues, placing first. And for wrestling, congratulations to Bubba Nulf on getting his 100th win. And for girls volleyball, Carthage beat Indian River 3-0 in the Frontier League playoff this weekend, Frontier League championship game. So congratulations to girls volleyball for winning the Frontier League championship. And for our Comet Athlete of the Week, it is Rebecca Fifield. This season so far, she's had 29 aces, 151 kills, 2 assists, 25 blocks, 85 digs, and 125 service points. So congratulations to her on her great season so far. Good luck to all Carthage teams as sectionals approach. Hopefully we can have a few sectional runs and maybe a few sectional championships this year for winter sports. I'm here with Jane, Chris, and Zion. Gonna ask them a few questions about how the varsity basketball season's going and their plans for the future. So first, I was wondering, what are your thoughts about the incident that happened at the IR game?
Chris got it. I don't know. It's just something that the whole team wanted to move past. We just want to get back to what we were doing, keep on winning games, and go on a sectional run.
So has this incident affected the team?
A little bit. Like there's things, the chemistry is thrown off a little bit, but in the long run, I think we'll be okay.
All right, so back to basketball. I had to ask that, but we all want to know. So last year, you guys played ESM, sectional game home. It was a tough loss. So did that loss motivate you guys to come back stronger this year?
Yeah, I think that was definitely apparent in our first game against them because we beat them.
So do you guys feel like this team's capable of making a sectional run?
Definitely.
I think we're going to win sections.
I agree.
Facts. So what's it like playing for Coach V?
Oh, that's all you
That's Zion got it.
No, you get the best
I'm not
experience out of it. Yes, you do.
I got it. I think that Coach V's tough on kids. He's the toughest on kids that he thinks can be the most successful with basketball. He yells at a lot of people all the time, and I get that a lot. He just wants you to see things his way. He thinks that when he yells, it's like helping out the benefit of the whole team, not just personal wants and gains. And I think that his ideas as a coach are good. Sometimes people don't see eye to eye with them.
Now, Zion, what's the difference between here at Carthage and where you were before?
The competition is like crazy because back in Hawaii we only had like 10 to 12 like regular season games, and it was like way smaller because we're all just stuck on an island. But the competition is way better, and there's way more basketball to be played, which is always better.
So, Chris, what do you think is the biggest thing you've improved on from last season to this season?
My passing and intelligence on the court. My basketball IQ.
And Coach has you play like multiple different positions. Do you feel like that? Do you sometimes like get that confused, like when Coach is yelling at you for certain things?
No, basketball is a sport where every position kind of does everything. Not necessarily not down to the wire, but basketball is a sport that's coming positionless. All 5 positions should be able to do everything. It's just the plays and stuff. You have to learn how to play every position when it comes to the plays.
Nowhere to be. Coach V, everything from what I've heard, he's very big on knowing your role. And do you feel like each of your roles, do you feel like you know each of your roles and this year, or do you feel like Coach V is trying to change them from last year?
I have no idea what.
I think some people's roles have improved from last year's, especially Chris's, and he's big on getting people to understand what they do need to do on the court and what they don't need to be doing.
And last question, do you guys have any like superstitions that you do before games? Like, is there something you need to do to feel like get out there ready to go?
I roll my shorts.
Well, that's him. Me and the rest of the boys in the team like to go in the locker room, put on the jams, get lit, you know, grab a couple songs, freestyle a little bit.
Do you feel like that focuses you more or relaxes you?
Yeah, it gets my mind like just flowing, gets me in that atmosphere to win.
And for sectionals, who do you guys think is going to be your biggest competition or like hardest opponent that you'll face?
Ourselves. The only person that can get in the way of us is ourselves. Is right now in the Frontier League. The talent that we have on this Carthage basketball team, in my opinion, is one of the greatest talents that's ever played here. As a whole, I know there's been better players here as a single that have played here than what we have, but as a whole, we can rotate 8 guys on the floor that are capable of doing that are capable of playing. We lost We lost Elijah for a game, and we still scored 80 points against, or not 80, 70 points against Indian River, which we did with him. So I think that we could. All around, this is one of the most talented Carthage groups ever playing. The only one that can stop us in the section is ourselves.
All right, well, good luck on the rest of your season, and hopefully we get to see that sectional run, possibly a sectional championship this year.
Sure.
Totally.
All right, now on to national sports. The Super Bowl this weekend, the Patriots beat the Rams. Very, very low scoring game, and I would just like to get your opinion on that, Jake.
Well, a lot of people think it was a boring game, but I really don't think that's the case. If it was so boring, why did you watch it? But all in all, it was a pretty great game. I wish there was a different outcome, but there wasn't. So give credits to Tom Brady, I guess, but it was an intense game, I guess.
I enjoyed it. I thought just watching the two coaches try to scheme against each other, I thought with the Rams' high-powered offense, how Bill Belichick put the system in place to slow down that offense. I enjoyed that a lot, like seeing that. I also like the Rams' defense played strong for a good portion of the game. They couldn't hold up there at the end, which was a little disappointing, but when you're playing the Patriots, your offense can't score 3 points. Like, you got to make the most of your opportunities in the first half. You can't just hope for your defense to get a stop late in the game because Tom Brady won't give you the opportunity to get the ball back. That's just not who he is. And so I was just wondering, Jake, who do you think has the best chances to win the Super Bowl next year?
I'd hope that the Rams, after 2 straight playoff losses, which really shouldn't have happened, I really thought that the Rams could pull this one out. I think they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder next year, along with the Saints. I think it'll be a NFC conference rematch, but I think the Saints will win, and then the Saints will go on to win the Super Bowl.
Now, do you think if the Saints do win the Super Bowl, that would be Drew Brees' last season?
I would like to think so. He's been tormenting the NFC South for a lot of years now, ever since the Saints signed him in free agency after he left the Chargers. So I think that if he caps it off with the Super Bowl, his second of his career, then I think he's done and he'd retire.
A lot of people also think Gronk's going to retire this year. Do you think he will, or do you think he'll stick it out for a few more years?
I think Gronk is definitely going to retire this year. I feel like he's had enough. Over this past year, he said a lot about his body and how his body has gone through so much over the course of his career. So I think after the celebrations and the parades and a couple weeks into free agency, he'll announce his retirement from the NFL.
Personally, I agree. I think Gronk's going to retire. I think Drew Brees is coming up on retirement soon. My favorite next year to win the Super Bowl, right now I'm really liking the Chiefs. I like how they got Steve Spagnuolo for their defensive coordinator. I think that's huge. Their defense was spotty all year. Patrick Mahomes in the offense kind of carried that team to where it was. I think if you just get a little bit of production out of the defense with the team they have set up and how good Patrick Mahomes is, they'll be a very hard team to beat next year. So on to our game of the week. Duke plays Virginia this Saturday. Earlier in the year, Duke beat Virginia by 2, but it was in Cameron. So who do you pick?
I'm
Who's
gonna go
win
with
this one?
Go with Virginia. I really like Kyle Guy. I like their defense, and I think although Duke has all the star power in the world, it really doesn't matter when it comes down to it. They lost to Syracuse at Cameron Indoor, and they're going to lose to Virginia at Virginia.
I thought Virginia was going to win at Cameron. I thought their defense would be able to hold up. Duke is very good this year. They're very talented, but I think with Virginia's defense, it's going to get in their head a little bit, especially with their guards. Zion's going to be Zion. I don't see a way of stopping him or controlling him. He's just going to do what he's going to do. But I think Virginia's going to end up pulling it out. I think offensively they're going to be better at home. They play better offensively at home, and we all know that their defense is stellar, one of the best in the league. So my pick is Virginia. All right, thanks for watching this episode of CometTalk with Cashlaw. All right, I'll do this.